However, I do have Tilden Hooper here joining us today. My gosh, I can't speak. You got me kind of all mixed up today. But Tilden, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me today.
Awesome. I'm so glad that we got to catch you and talk about your recent rodeo competitions and kind of touch base with you. Where are you right now? Because I know y'all are always on the road and traveling. I wanted to catch up with you and see what the latest is.
Yeah, so I just landed in Boise, Idaho, and picked up my pickup truck, and I'm headed to Kennewick, Washington for the rodeo tonight. I had a day and a half, so I flew home to see the family and kind of
Awesome.
relaxed a little bit. Now I'm back out here after it again.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit more about your recent rodeo competitions. Obviously, last week you picked up 3,111 at the Farm City Pro Rodeo. So talk about those rides a little bit. I know you rode You See Me and Forgetful Nelly. Is that right?
Yeah, no, that's right. That's a rodeo there in Hermiston, Oregon, that really stepped up big time this year and doubled their added money. So $50,000 added, and I kind of just placed middle of the road there. Both those horses worked out to just be pretty common, and I was 83 on both of them. Felt like I made pretty strong rides, and ended up getting a pretty good check out of the deal. So I was happy with that.
Awesome. So, round two riding Forgetful Nelly, you scored 83, finishing fourth, winning 1350. Tell me about that ride and how that felt.
That's a horse that they've been 88, 89 on a few times this year, and was in the short round of the Calgary Stampede the other day. So I had pretty high hopes for that one. I thought that was going to be the best horse I had of the weekend, and honestly, she kind of had a day off, and so I ended up being 83 instead of 86 or 88. But I felt like I did my job and got every point I could, and that's all you can do. The rest of it, there's so much of this that's out of your hands, and so I just try to focus on what I can control, which is very little, I guess.
Well, going back to writing You See Me, you got sixth place to score 83, winning 704. Tell me about that ride as well.
Yeah, that's a horse I knew. Like I said, I was looking forward to the other one, being 86, 88, maybe 89 points. You See Me, on the other hand, is just a pretty good old horse that I knew, 83 points was going to be about maxed out on that one. And she had a good day, and I had a good ride, and so I felt like we got everything out of it we could.
Awesome. Now, kind of going to this week, talking a little bit of rodeo for this week. Let's go ahead and kind of maneuver on just a tad. I swear, I'm only going to talk about a little bit of this week, but however, talking a little bit more about your rides. You competed at the Moses Lake Roundup Rodeo in Washington. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So would have been last Friday night. Yeah, and I had a nice little horse there, 82 points. Like I said, I think I got about all of it I could out of that one. To be honest with you, things have been a little bit slow on the drawing good horses side, and so it's been going riding around a lot and getting on, here or there. And I hadn't really had the one as far as horses are concerned, but when I have had the chance, I feel like I've made strong rides. And just like I said earlier, there's so much of this stuff that's out of your control that I try to focus on just making good rides and getting the checks where I can and enjoying what I get to do.
So, kind of just a little bit of history about you. Tell me, what is your why behind doing rodeo?
I guess it's changed a little bit over the years. As a young man, I just wanted to set the world on fire and ride bucking horses for a living and be with my friends and travel the country and do all the cool, wild stuff that you hear about rodeo cowboys doing. And I did that for a while, and then sometime around the middle of my career, I had an injury that caused me to kind of reevaluate the way I was doing things and start putting a little more work into it. And through that, I was able to kind of realign my goals and really focus on trying to win a gold buckle. And I had a few years there where that was the main focus in my life, is whatever it took to win a gold buckle. And that was a fun period of time. And then life kind of rolled on around, and got married, started a family, and now rodeo feels like more of a way to I still want to win a world championship. I still work at it really hard. I've just kind of gotten myself into a position now where rodeo provides more time at home with my family. Basically, as weird as that sounds, I have to travel a lot, but when I'm home, and I get to be with my kids, and I get to, you know, last year, 2 years ago, I was hurt for a full season, and but also we had twins that year, so I was home for the full year and got to be with my wife and help her and be there during these formative years with my children. And you know, the more I do this, the more it starts to seem like, you know, I still love riding bucking horses. I don't love being away from my family as much, but through this, it provides an opportunity, you know, for a lifestyle with my family that I really enjoy. You know, the whole month of July, my wife and the 3 kids all got to come out with me, and we traveled around, went to a bunch of rodeos, and the rodeoing's been pretty slow the last couple months as far as winning. You know, it's just I hadn't been drawn and getting the horses I need in the places I've needed them, but having my family out there with me really made it fun, and we made a lot of memories, and I'm just really enjoying rodeo right now.
Well, Tilden, you know, it probably feels a little different to be back on the horse again, quite literally, after, you know, taking that time off to be with your family and injuries and whatever it might be. How does it feel to be back in this moment? Obviously doing great at competitions, as it seems.
Yeah, you know, I'm just thankful to still get to do this. You know, 37 years old. I'm a little bit older than the rest of the guys I compete against, and for whatever reason, you know, God's allowed me to remain healthy and continue to do this. And I feel like my riding's as sharp as it's ever been. And I really enjoy riding bucking horses. And I'm kind of at a point in my career where I know that, you know, it's going to be over sooner than later. And so I really just try to kind of look around and, you know, kind of smell the roses and enjoy this and soak it all in and not take any of it for granted.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, with that being said, I know you said where you were headed, but what is the next rodeo for you? What are you, you know, going into it expecting?
I'm going to Kennewick, Washington tonight. I've got a horse of the Calgary Stampedes called Arbitrator Joe. The horse has been around for a little while. I've been on him a few times. I expect a good ride tonight and a high score. You know, I'm hoping to be leading the round when it's over tonight. Come back to the finals on Saturday, and in the meantime, between now and Saturday, I'll go to a handful more rodeos all over the country. I'm entered up at a rodeo just about every day for the next 6 weeks. It's pretty wild and pretty hectic, but being where I'm at in the world standings, I've got a little room to make up, and you know, I got to get to winning and got to get to drawing those horses at the right places, and so I'm hopeful that's the case, and I'll go take advantage of it when I do.
All right, everyone. Well, that was our Tilden Hooper, and I know you're going to compete tonight, as you said, so good luck to you on these next few competitions that you do and tonight as well. I'm sure we'll touch base with you later.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me today.
All right, thank you.